Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you clicked on this video. About a week ago, I made a video showing Terry Bowersox driving past Bullhorn Betty twice. Everybody saw the second time, but it seemed the majority of people missed the first time. Well, I'm going to show you that I know what time he drove past. We're going to look at his receipt that he shared from Sam's Club when he went shopping, which was his reason for being in that plaza. And he saw Betty, and he drove behind her car and took a picture of her license plate. But nobody ever talked about the first time he drove by, and nobody has talked about what time it was. So we're going to start with Bullhorn Betty's live stream from June 25th, 2024. Bullhorn Betty showed her dash to show the temperature in Tennessee on this hot summer day. At the timestamp of 1850, her clock says 3:16 p.m. Now that's 1 hour ahead in Sumner County, Tennessee, because we know that Bullhorn Betty is from Central Florida, which is Eastern time zone. Sumner County is in Central time zone, which is 1 hour behind Florida. So this 3:16 p.m. means 2:16 p.m. Noted. Next up, we're at the timestamp of 51 minutes and 52 seconds on this live stream. Sebastian Rogers, OMG, look what Bullhorn Betty did. Okay, I want you to listen really closely to what Bullhorn Betty says.
Everybody, if you guys, we have over 1,000 people here. We have 534 likes. Please go out, give us a like. Come back into chat. Let us know what number you are on the likes. Let us know where you're from and what the temperature is right now. Right now here in Sumner County, Tennessee, it is right about 3 o'clock and
52 minutes and 20 seconds. She says it's right about 3 o'clock. Did you everybody hear that? Let's listen one more time.
It is right about 3 o'clock and
so at 52 minutes timestamp on this live stream, it's 3 p.m. Now we're going to skip forward to 1 hour and 13 minutes. And this is where Bullhorn Betty is outside of her vehicle. She is speaking to the law enforcement officer, and Terry Bowersox drives right past them. I'm going to mute it because there's no sound, so we'll keep it muted. And we're going to watch right here, and we're going to see Terry Bowersox's vehicle come by here and go right past her driver's seat here. Should be any minute. Now, somebody said, well, he drove back by because he needed to get a picture of her license plate because she drove past his house and he needed to make a report. So he needed her license plate. So that's why he stopped and took a picture. Well, if that was why wouldn't he have stopped when he drove past this first time when there was law enforcement standing right there with Bullhorn Betty? There he goes. Boop. Did you miss it? It happens super fast. I'm going to slow it down. We're at 1:13:51. Okay, I'm going to slow it down here. We're going to go down to 0.4 because that's what it's letting me do. All right, here we go. Right here. There he is. There he goes. And then right over here. There he goes. All right, so now it's 1 hour and 13 minutes into this live stream. So we started out with the timestamp of 1850, which Betty showed us her clock, and it was 2:16 p.m. for a fact. The second timestamp that we saw was 33 minutes later at 52:20, and Betty confirmed that it was right about 3 p.m., 2:59 p.m. to be exact. Then 21 minutes later, it's 1:13:51, making it 3:20 when Terry Bowersox drove behind Betty for the first time. Okay, then the second time that Terry Bowersox drove past, we're going to skip forward 13 minutes. So we'll start at 1:26:51. Here we go. Now I still have it muted. This is when he pulls up. His car is right back there. You can see it in the back window. There he is. She rolls her window down. He pulls on. She realizes that it's him. She can see him physically driving the vehicle. That's how she knows for sure it's Terry Bowersox. And that's exactly what she says. Oh, it's Terry Bowersox. Now, if she would not have followed him, and would not have gotten out of her vehicle, how much do you want to bet Mr. Terry Bowersox would have denied that that was even him? We were at 113 on the first drive-by with the law enforcement officer, right? Now we're at 126.50 something, almost 127. So that's another 13 minutes, making the time right at 3:33 p.m. Now, these specific times are so important. This is the receipt that Terry Bowersox showed as his proof that he was shopping at Sam's Club. You can see up here at the top, Sam's Club, here's your receipt, transaction ID number, and then here's the details, the purchase details. We can see right here, it was at Indian Lake Boulevard, which is where Betty was in the Plaza. It was on Tuesday, June 25th, which is the date of her live stream. And right here, it has the time, 3:23 p.m. He went to the cashier, scan and go, which means he did self-checkout. So he scanned his items and left. So he left the parking lot and came back into the parking lot to drive by her again after the officer had left to take a picture of her license plate. For what? Why? Now you can see I have Google Maps here on the screen, and up here is Sebastian's high school, Sebastian's house. Down here is Sam's Club, which is where Terry Bowersox was, and Bullhorn Betty on June 25th. I've never been here before, so I'm not familiar with this area, but I went back through and I watched Bullhorn Betty pull in to the parking lot. Texas Roadhouse is right here. She pulled in this way, went this way, went this way, pulled into the parking lot right here, parked right here, and got out and put a flyer on a tree. She got back in her car. She pulled out around this way and then out around this way and then back out here and went this direction. Or no, I'm sorry, this direction on this road. And then she turned in right here. And as she was in this section here, she passed the law enforcement officer. So she pulled over because she knew he was there for her. Not because she flagged him down, but because there was a call that she was there and that she needed to be checked on. So she was parked over in this aisle right here, and we can see this building in the background. So she pulled into a parking spot. I believe it was in this spot right here where this tree is, right here. So she's pulled in facing this direction, and we can see back here. So that means Terry Bowersox drove down this road right here, right? Now Sam's Club is all the way over here, the entrance. And Mr. E and Mrs. E and Auntie E, they were talking about why would he have gone all the way over to where she was parked if he was leaving Sam's Club? It didn't make much sense to them. And now looking at the parking lot, I understand why. If the front door is right here, which is what it's showing, then you would assume he would have parked right around in here somewhere, right? And look at every single row. You can go all the way down and out to this main strip right here, and then get over to this main road here. So wherever he was parked, he didn't go out the rows to this strip right here. He drove all the way down here to the end of the building and then drove out this way. Why did he drive all the way down there and go that way? Was somebody maybe watching the live stream? Did he run in super quick and pick up those 4 items that were on that receipt that I just showed you? Super quick so that he had a receipt? And then run outside, jump back in the car, and then drive by to make sure it was really her? Or did he drive by one other time and we didn't see him? Maybe he drove past her this way. Maybe he pulled in and went down this row right here, and we didn't see him because the camera was facing this direction. There's a lot of different what ifs, but the absolutes, the facts that we know, We now have solid proof that Terry Bowersox drove by Bullhorn Betty at 3:20 p.m. the first time, while law enforcement was still there with Bullhorn Betty. The receipt he shared as proof of why he was in that area was from 3:23 p.m. and 4 items were purchased. Terry Bowersox then drove by Bullhorn Betty the second time to get a picture of her license plate after law enforcement was gone and she was all alone at 3:33 p.m. I feel like this information could be very important for any appeals process in at least one case. What you think? Did he run into Sam's Club right quick and pick up these 4 items? You see, 4 items purchased right here. Did he get 4 candy bars real quick at the register and just scan and go so that he had proof that he was in there? Betty showed where she was driving throughout that live stream. She shared her location a few different times, and she kept turning her camera around and saying, "Oh, we better turn it around. We don't know who's watching." We see her going down this way. She backs in, hangs up a flyer. And she gets out. She goes over there, puts it on the tree, gets back in the car, and then she takes off again. Now, here's the officer right there. Right there's the officer. And she's like, "Yep, he's here for me. How much you want to bet?" So she's like, "Whoop." And she whips it in right here. And there we go. She waits for the officer to come back, and he does. And then she gets out, and she talks to him, and that's when Mr. Terry Bowersox drives by the first time. There she is, and see the officer's back here behind her. And then she gets out and talks to him again, and then that's when we get to see Mr. Bowersox drive by for the very first time. I have it on normal, so he's going to go by pretty quick. This is just a quick review before we end it, because I really want to know your opinion. I want to know, what do you think? Did he see her sitting there? Did he know that she was there? There he went. And that's why he ran into Sam's Club right quick to buy something so that he had a receipt. So he could say he's just a local. He was just there doing some shopping, right? Right there at 113.54. This is the front end of his car right here. And this is the back end of his car right here. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to read your comments. I want to know what you think about this. Did you see my first video where you got to see this drive-by for the first time? I know it was news to a lot of people. A lot of you did not realize that he drove by twice. You can't change the facts. Facts are facts. He drove past her twice. Possibly right after he checked out with 4 items. But she's stalking him. He fears her so much that he convinced a judge, well, no, a judge granted a protective order without Betty in the courtroom. If Betty would have gone to court and showed the judge this video right here, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please make sure that you hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're not already. Ring-a-ding the bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live or when I'm going to upload videos. I do it at random as I can. Right now, it's 2:24 a.m. And I hope you will leave me comments. Let me know what you think. Your opinion matters. You do the math. And then what is your theory? Thank you so much. May you have the kind of day that karma feels you've earned. And until next time, I love you bunches.